What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with Palki Sharma once again. We love her. When India's chapati humbled the British. Before we can dive into this, make sure you subscribe, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up, and let's do it.
The year is 1857, a very different India. It's been 100 years since the East India Company began its rule. But nobody's happy. The kings and queens are powerless, the farmers are exploited, and the soldiers are restless. Around April and May, things happen. 85 soldiers in Meerut decide to rebel. All of them are court-martialed and thrown into jail. Their sentence? 10 years on chain, which basically means really hard labor in jail.
Jesus.
But do you know what happened? The soldiers never served that sentence because on that same day, the 10th of May, they were broken out. Their fellow soldiers, or sepoys as the British called them, had joined in. What followed is one of the most important chapters in Indian history, the First War of Indian Independence. But the British don't call it that. In their history books, it's a mutiny, the Great Mutiny of 1857, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
It really scared the East India Company. They thought it was game over for them. But just months ago, something else had given them an even bigger scare, something that set the stage for the 1857 War of Independence.
Yeah.
You know what?
What's that?
Maybe you're eating it right now. I'm talking about the chapati, roti. In 1857, it was giving the British sleepless nights. How? Time for a flashback.
I'm excited. It's so dope getting to learn about the history. And this kind of goes along the narrative of, what was his name? We reacted to him. I can't remember his name, but we just reacted to a video of him. It was Deepak, J-Sai Deepak. I believe that was his name. And he was saying that, like, India's never just been walked over just like that, and people came in and conquered and colonized them without a fight. No, India's always put up resistance. India's always fought. India is the land of strong warriors, of resilient people. And so I'm excited to see this flashback. It kind of goes along with what he was saying.
It's February 1857. The Sepoy Revolt is still months away. But a British magistrate is about to get the surprise of his life. His name was Mark Thornhill. He was posted here in Mathura. One day he found something strange on his table. 4 pieces of roti or chapati. They were dirty, chunky and mysterious. But where did they come from? Apparently a man came from the jungle and handed them to the village chief. Strange, right? Thornhill thought so too. The man from the jungle also had instructions. Make 4 more chapatis and take them to the next village. Sort of like a pyramid scheme. The British magistrate got curious. He ordered a discreet inquiry into the incident, and guess what he found? It wasn't just Mathura. These chapatis were going all over the place. From the Narmada River in the south, all the way up to Nepal in the north. We're talking about thousands of chapatis here. Indore got them. Gwalior got them. So did Delhi, Rohilkhand, Awadh and Allahabad. They were everywhere. And they were moving fast, almost 300 kilometers every single night. And that speed worried the East India Company. Why? Because even their mail was not that fast. We still don't know where the chapati movement started. But we do know how it unfolded. The transportation was mostly done at night. Night guards or chowkidars would take chapatis from village to village. Often there were accompaniments like lotus flowers or goat flesh. They also gave instructions. Make more of the chapatis and pass them on. Now imagine you're a British official in 1857 India. You see mysterious chapatis going around. Chances are you're terrified. Maybe you think it's a conspiracy.
Could be.
There are 100,000 of you versus 250 million Indians. Those are not good odds anywhere. So the British tried to investigate the chapatis. They examined them for secret codes or letters. No luck. These were plain old chapatis. They tried grilling the night guards or chowkidars. Again, no luck. It was as if the whole country was in on the mystery. British officers were confused and helpless.
I swear to God, bro, just imagine as soon as being a British officer and these chapatis are going so far and so fast, and they're going all around, and you feel like this could be a conspiracy because what's going on. And like she said, when the numbers are like that, when there's only 100 to 200,000 of you and there's millions of Indians, you assume a revolt is coming, and you don't got the numbers to fight against it. You don't, and the way that they're all in such organization, that's truly scary among so many people. I can understand why they became paranoid, why they will try to figure these chapatis out, why they think there's a secret code. Bro, you're scared because you know if they decide to revolt, it's a wrap.
One such confused Brit was Army Surgeon Gilbert Haddo. He wrote to his sister about the chapatis. No one seems to know the meaning of it. It is not known whether it is connected with any religious ceremony or whether it has to do with some secret society. Full marks for imagination, we say. Or should we say paranoia? To understand the Chapati movement, we must understand India's mood in 1857. Trust is zero, fear is maximum, so rumors were traveling faster than chapatis. One rumor was this, that foreign rule in India would end 100 years after the Battle of Plassey. And when was that? 1757. That's when the Battle of Plassey was fought. So exactly 100 years had passed. There was an air of expectation. The British thought something big was about to happen. Maybe that fear got the better of them. And speaking of fears, Indians had one too. And this is theory number 2. They feared that the British were hell-bent on destroying the faith of Hindus and Muslims. And this one is partially true. The British did love conversions. So rumors spread that cow and pig bones were being mixed into flour. Now, cow we know is holy for Hindus. Pigs are taboo for Muslims. The solution? Make and dispatch your own chapatis. A third theory is about cholera. There was a big outbreak around this time. So the Chapati movement may have been an attempt to distribute food, nothing sinister or secretive, just a humanitarian mission. And finally, there's theory number 4. Perhaps the chapatis were secret messages.
So we don't know what was behind the chapatis. We have theories of what was going on, but nobody truly knows the reason these chapatis were going to so many people and they were moving so fast and it was like a chain reaction. Nobody truly knows.
Seems far-fetched though. The mood of 1857 gave life to the Chapati movement. The British did not understand what it meant. They did not even try to understand. It was easy to just call it a mystery. Even easier after the fighting broke out, the revolt. Like wheat flour, the issue here was cartridges. Have you seen the special casing which holds bullets? Those are called cartridges. Just a year ago, the British had introduced a new firearm in India, the Enfield rifle. Its cartridge had a problem, or rather, a rumored problem. It was apparently greased with cow and pig fat. To open the casing, soldiers had to use their teeth. Hindus and Muslims were outraged. All it took was one brave man to stand up. His name was Mangal Pandey. He was stationed in Barakpur at the time. Mangal Pandey asked his fellow soldiers to revolt. He also attacked 2 European officers.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure you know how the story ends. Mangal Pandey was captured, tried and executed, but his death was like a trigger. Days later, the soldiers rebelled in Meerut. Soon the old kings and queens joined in. The East India Company was shaken to the core. The soldiers even managed to capture Delhi. They held on until September that year. After that, the tide turned though. More British troops came and the revolt was crushed. These events added to the mystery of the chapatis. The British were convinced that the two were related.
So it was his death was the catalyst that those soldiers and people of India need to revolt. And they did it. They were successful in revolting until the British sent more troops and the tides turned back against them. But like Deepak said, the Indians were never one to just be walked over, to be easily conquered. They're resilient people. They were warriors, and they were gonna fight.
And maybe they were. But the overwhelming consensus is this. It was just British paranoia, maybe even racism. Just think about it. Why would Indians use chapatis to spread political messages? Why not letters or newspapers?
Yeah.
The British perhaps couldn't stomach the idea. They thought the chapati was best for the illiterate rebels. The written word was too sophisticated for them. Thus, the humble chapati became a colonial obsession, a mystery for historians across 2 centuries.
That's crazy.
I guess we can never be 100% sure of what this movement was about, but one thing is clear: the events of 1857 transformed India. The East India Company was gone, the British Crown would rule directly now. It's been 166 years since the events of 1857. The chapati doesn't scare the British anymore, or at least we hope so. But for many
We
Indians,
hope
it's
so.
still a nightmare. We are traumatized every time we see that dreaded item on British menus and recipes. Chapati bread, they call it. Doesn't make any sense, really. Chapati already means a type of bread. So maybe go ahead and correct them. Tell the story of their chapati dread in 1857.
Correct them and tell the story of their chapati dread. I like Palki Sharma. This chapati history. They scared the British with chapatis. I guess I guess paranoia definitely kicked in. I assumed it was paranoia, because Indians just outnumbered them by so many that they probably understood if they revolted and all together, they had no chance. Of course, until the British, more British troops came, reinforcements. But that's all we have for that video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you check out this reaction video next, please. And make sure you subscribe. It's your boy Neal, out.